And on that note, we were live. Live, 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 live. The mystery machine is fired up and we are ready to rock and roll. How well doing out there? Big shout out to Polly first in the chat today. Good man. Good to see you in there. We've got Rorschach, Jocelyn, all the way from Alaska. Jocelyn, tell me, is it worth my time looking into the pyramid of Alaska? You can leave it in the chat. Let me know. Sidvich, good to see you, brother. I hope you were watching the antics last night over on Cambian's stream and CW. Much hilarity. We've got ZX in there, and ZX and I today were discussing a potential Titanic. Absolutely Titanic Mandela. But that might be for another show. Did you know? Did you know? No, I'm not going to get into that right now. We've got plenty to look at today, but we've got Jose Ramon Francis, the hidden underbelly. Good to see you. Carol. We've got Bet, one of 100 monkeys. I like that. I like it. If we can get 100 monkeys in here, I'd be absolutely delighted. We've got Bernays, the hidden hand. Jose again, ZX, Sam, Polynation. Yes, indeed. And of course, today, ladies and gentlemen, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but it's a bit of a big day right here on KBS. Episode number 1500. I'm shaking my head because I honestly can't believe it. It only really dawned on me earlier on today. Just how probably significant and how major a landmark this is. And then it became all the more real when I went back and had a little listen to episode number 1. Holy shit moly. I tell you, I was lucky I made it past episode number 1 because I think if the Geos had actually been listening closely to that show, they probably would have cut ties with me there and then. So it's a big shout out to Chris and Cherie Geo over at TFR, A for building it, and B for letting me have the Kev Baker show on their platform and continue to be on their platform for as long as they will tolerate me. And hopefully that'll be a long time yet. It's 1500 not out, and now we start on the next 1500, right? Listen, I would like to think we can do another 1500, and I will give it my everything, ladies and gents. I really, really will. But, you know, after 1500 episodes, you might think, wow, that guy must have picked up a thing or two along the way. Sure, I have. But, you know, in reality, I've probably got more questions now than I did when I started. So, try and work that one out if you can. The further you go down the rabbit hole, the deeper and weirder things seem to get. So before we go anywhere today, but you know me, I don't usually go all ego, but I will a little bit of ego showing today. I am kind of very proud of doing the 1500 episodes, but most of you, and obviously in recent times, you have all been a big part of that as well. So it's a bit of a kind of team effort, okay? Yeah, it's my name on the door, but we know it's a whole lot more than just Kev Baker. Too many people to thank in person. I couldn't go through everyone, and if I tried, I'd probably leave people out and offend them. But we can get into that over on the main show just after today's pre-show stream. We've got ghosts on camera, we've got aliens in the news, kind of. And of course, more news and woo along the way. I'll be chilling out with the people in the chat room. We'll be taking it nice and easy today on our pre-1500th episode stream. It's crazy when you think about it. 1,500, 1,500. Doesn't matter what way you say it, it's still absolutely crazy. So to anyone and everyone who has helped me along the way, be it even just sending me the link for a story, I thank you all profusely. Now, I need to go and drop a link somewhere. Hang on, folks. I'm going to put some music back on for a minute, and then we'll get back into it. I need to go and tell some people that we're live right now, and then we'll get into some of our good stuff that I've got hooked up for you today. So don't go anywhere, folks. I'm just going to go and drop this link, and I will be right back. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. Don't hear much about it. They keep it quiet. It's something I've been encouraged to look into. The pyramid, or a potential pyramid over in Alaska. Sounds like my kind of woo. So I look forward to a show on that sometime real soon. We've also got our animal whisperer. Just lining up of just to confirm a date. I'd forgot to get back to the animal whisperer. Whisperer? Can I spit that name out? But lots of new stuff coming up on the show as well, because after 1,500 episodes, one thing I have learned is you have to keep things fresh. You have to keep changing things up, because if not, you get stuck in a rut. You get stuck in a rut. Nobody wants that. Not the crowd, not the audience, not the host, not the guests. No, no, no. We don't roll like that here. So hopefully we'll start to see some more people coming over. Polly says he turned up well after episode 1000. I tend to think, Polly, that people arrive at their destination just when they're meant to. That's honestly what I think. I know there's free will in the world, or at least the illusion of it, but I think everything happens at just the right time for just the right reasons. And you, my friend Polly, have been an absolutely brilliant addition to everything we do. And of course, when I say everything, we have got our own Discord server. Hopefully ZX, if it's not too much of a pain, he'll be able to drop a link for that. But yeah, Polly, big shout out to you. So whenever people tuned into the show, you found me, you found the madness that we get up to just at the right time. All right. So today we're going to be talking about ghosts. We've got a little bit of aliens. I'm going to be coming into the chat. And then we'll be jumping on over onto episode 1500. Scary, scary stuff. But not as scary as it was listening to the start of the first episode today. I couldn't even listen to all of it. Couldn't even listen to all of it. And, you know, COPD, the health stuff, there's one good thing that has actually come out of the whole health problems I've had. And that is that it slowed me down. When I was listening to today's episode number 1, I actually had to think, who is this guy? Is he on speed? I could barely keep up with the pace I was going. And then when Anne came home from work, she reminded me just how nervous I was, and was kind of hanging out with some of the other hosts on TFR over on Skype, and we were talking about things. And it's that first episode. Oof, there's nothing quite like it. You'll probably never forget that feeling. It's the dry mouth. You think you've got everything prepared. You've got copious amounts of notes and stories and ideas in your head, but it all goes right out the window. Right out the window. The moment that you hear the music going on, and then when you're at TFR, we've got a big kind of flashing light when you go live. It's pretty cool. It's pretty professional. It's really good stuff. So when that happens, yeah, there's definitely no feeling like it. But like I say, it slowed me down. And now I think I'm a whole lot more understandable. At least barely understandable now. I've still got the crazy accent going on, but hopefully I've improved over 1,500 episodes. Polly, there's a good point. You probably just turned up when I was actually maybe just getting going, when I actually had a bit of a handle on what we were doing. So, yeah, you probably missed all the craziness in the first 1,000 episodes. First 1,000 episodes? This is crazy. It's probably only people like Coast to Coast, Alex Jones, Clyde Lewis, Jeff Renz, probably maybe off the top of my head, 10, 15 shows that can probably boast that they're over 1,500 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm in no way comparing myself to any of those powerhouses in what has become known as alternative media. Okay? Don't ever think that. The ego hasn't got that out of control in one day. Trust me. So we've got Rosie in there. Stardust says, are we in Woomageddon? I love it. Oh, I love it. Woomageddon is actually going to... you know what? I'm going to write that down. I like that. Woomageddon. And that could well turn into one of the bays. One of the kind of... the coves of Speculation Island. You're probably thinking, oh, we always hear about the Speculation Island. Are we ever going to get to see it? Yes, you are, because I am now playing around with something called the Unreal Engine. That's the thing that all these programmers and developers make all your cutting edge new games on. And just to create a little island or so, I think I can probably stretch to that. So watch this space, okay? It's coming sometime real soon. And there's also another little program on there. Myself and Scott talked about it on a show before. But it's a thing called Meta Humans. And it basically creates like CGI characters that are scary, lifelike. Like really scary, lifelike. So I might start playing about with that as well. No, we haven't reached peak woo yet, Cassie. Good point. Good point. Marty says, can't stay, but I've shared this out on Twitter. Hope everyone's doing well. Marty, thank you so much. My t-shirt says it's super dry. Vintage super dry. I should probably ask them for a sponsor since I wear a lot of the super dry stuff. Do you know why I wear a lot of the super dry stuff? I'll embarrass myself here. But hey, that's what I do. I wear super dry because when you're the size of a gnome, yes, when you're only my size, you are caught in a conundrum. Now, you can go to shops and you can look for large boys, which is a bit of a kick in the stones if you're a manly man like me. Or there's one shop that I found which is super dry, which have extra small. Now, I know there's other shops out there that do extra small, but this one, it seems to have all the kind of gear I would wear, and it actually fits me. Anne jokes that before she met me, I walked about in clothes that were too big for me. Now, admittedly, some of them were because a small man's doesn't fit a gnome-sized creature like me. You see, so yeah, super dry is here. Wingnut's got to build a hangar 18. Well, I'm thinking of maybe there can only be one hangar 18, and some people remember it. Some people have never heard of it, which kind of makes it like its own kind of weird, made up, kind of not a Mandela, but it gives it that mystique. If you were ever around for Hangar 18, whoo, boy. Howard Stern, they call him a shock jock, right? This would have made Howard Stern look like a very conservative, kind of mundane, slow, taking it easy kind of host, all right? Compared to Hangar 18, there was people like myself, Joe Joseph, the Whistler, Chris Geo, Cherie Geo, the Popeye, Scotty Lopez, Ken Webb. We also had a guest caller called Harbinder that would call in from time to time. Yes, this is Harbinder. And he always used to hassle Popeye, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Well, Harbinder, he could come back. You never know. Harbinder's always waiting in the wings. But big shout out to Queen. I've seen Queen coming in. Yeah, Site 6, maybe. Maybe just the KBS dum de dum dum dum. As in, not dumb. I know I am dumb, but DUMB. Deep Underground Military. Bunker or base, depending on what nomenclature you want to use, you know. I purposely used that word because it's a word that rarely comes up in conversation, but today that makes 3 days in the trot. Nomenclature has been around the Kev Baker show, right? So, who else we got in here? Nobody new? Have I missed anyone? I've probably missed loads out. Dang dudes. So if we come back over here, let's get into it, right? Let's get that ugly mush off of there. It's bad enough looking at my small face, is it? Is it? I admit it. It's okay. I know I've got a face for radio, folks. But first up, we're gonna get into some ghosts, right? And we're gonna go to the much loved Coast to Coast AM that my good friend Bill Bean is a regular guest on. Travis, he's been on there a number of times. Just me and Derek Stroman to go. Derek, we'll get there somehow, dude. We'll get there somehow. But a ghost photographed at an infamously haunted Waverley Sanatorium. Now, if I pull this up on here, and we zoom this in, big shout out to Maggie Clark, who obviously owns this picture. But we can see in the doorway something that definitely appears like a very manifested foot that's coming into almost physical form. And then something that appears to be very shadowy up above that. Now, as somebody who uses Photoshop, it's very hard for anyone to distinguish right away whether you're looking at something genuine, which I would like to think we're looking at, or whether it's been messed with. Now, I've not taken this over to Adobe and start to look for different layers because it's the pre-show stream. We're just doing some woo, nothing serious, just a bit of fun, chilling out with some friends as we do before we go live on the main game in town, you know. So let's go back and we'll get a bit of this story then. So it says a woman visiting the infamously haunted Waverly Hill Sanatorium in Kentucky snapped a smooky, not spooky, but a smooky, okay, spooky photograph that appears to show an apparition lurking in a doorway. Is this ghost hashtag lurk mode? We like lurkers around here. I'm just saying. It says the eerie image was captured this past Saturday evening by Maggie Clark while she was participating in one of the site's popular ghost tours. As she was exploring the top floor of the building, she noticed a ball on the floor and, hoping that she might catch sight of the object moving, snapped a picture of the general area using the night mode setting on her camera. Now, while she did not capture any motion from the toy, Clark wound up photographing something far more fantastic. So it says in the odd image, a curious form can be seen right at the edge of the doorway. Although it appears to be fairly nebulous at first, as one looks down towards the bottom of the anomaly, the distinct outline of a shoe-clad foot, as long as it wasn't a hoof, as long as it wasn't one of these hoofed entities, we're okay. Well, relatively okay. After Clark shared a picture on social media, she was met with a handful of skeptical observers who argued that the photo was doctored. However, she insists that this is not the case, telling us that, quote, posting a fake picture serves me no purpose. She also noted that the anomaly only appeared on one image among a succession of photographs that she took in that moment. So what's your take on the puzzling image? And that is my first question for the chat room. So let me get on some background music here. It's going to be something crap, you know that. I'll come to the audience. I want to know what you think. Marty, love you to bits. Thank you for all your support to the show. You don't know. You might think it's only a little bit here and there, but listen, a little bit here and there mounts up to a lot of support. Thank you, Marty. Thank you to everyone who does support the show. Just wouldn't be able to keep going without it. Literally wouldn't be able to. So what are people saying about this picture? What do people think? I want to hear from you. I think it's quite interesting. There's always going to be a degree of skepticism when we're looking at still images. That's just the way the world rolls. And with people like me, Abel, and by people like me, I mean totally amateur, never trained. A couple of years ago was the first time I ever picked up Photoshop. When I started doing the whole Photoshop wars with Chris and Popeye and Joe, you know, that's what really taught me how to use Photoshop. And the point I'm trying to make is that really anyone can put together something that could be classed as paranormal. I'm not accusing the person who took this picture, Maggie. I'm no way accusing Maggie of doing anything because, like I say, I've not checked it. And it's not as if it's somebody that's maybe got a big channel or they've already got a big following, something like that, then that gives more reason to maybe hoax something up because you've got to keep on producing that type of content if you're that kind of content creator. But if this is just somebody in a ghost hunt, you know, I don't know. I like it. I do like it. We talk about shadow men a lot on the show. We talk about the shadow entities because really I haven't asked any of these shadow people what gender or what they identify as. So we'll keep it nice and nebulous and we'll just say shadow entities or shadow people. And they can tell us if they what they want to be known as. When ghosts start telling us their pronouns, folk, you know you know it's long gone. Star Surfer or Stardust is not buying it. Not buying it at all. It looks doctored to me, says ZX. Not a ghost. I don't think it's real, says Queen Goddess. Oh, you skeptical buggers. So yous are. But that's what it's all about, you see. I provide, you decide. And that's the way we'll always roll on here, because I can't tell you. I've already admitted it. I've not taken it into Adobe to see if you can unlock the layers. Have a look at the metadata. I wanted to kind of chill out and we'll go over it with you. Well, Rose likes it. Wanda's giving a thumbs up and a peace sign. I'm going to take that as a likes it. I've got more photographs for us to look at, folks. Don't worry about that. I came across this one because it was like one of the first articles over on Coast to Coast AM. And they've got an actual, if it comes to the woo, and when it comes to the woo, they've got a huge collection every day. They seem to aggregate a lot of the websites that I go to. Places like Mysterious Universe, places like the Unexplained Mysteries. And the next one we're going to look at also comes from the Daily, now I'm trying to remember, is it the Daily Mirror? We've got one from Ireland we're going to look at. We've also got one from Scotland we're going to look at as well. ZX says, the downward beam on the right in the window looks odd. It does look as if there's a bit of weirdness going on there, admittedly. But I mean, if I was going to stick a ghost in here, I wouldn't like even touch that. I would just put in, I'll tell you how I would fake this up, right? I would get an image of a person, just an image of a person. You can use Photoshop then to crop that person out of whatever background they're in, copy it. I would paste it right onto here, and then I would start to play about with that top bit. And if it's a different layer, it could. You'd have to see this from a different angle. This is why, you know, one image is kind of, it's always going to be hard to make any definitive kind of decision on this. So with that one looked at, let us move on to our next ghosts on camera. I should really put on have I got a one? Hang on. One ghosts on camera. There you go. There's my scary voice. So we'll go next to the ghosts on camera. Next up, it's Scotland. We're going to. Okay, so it says here a creepy ghost photo in Scotland. Is the internet freaking out? It takes a lot for the internet to freak out. But if we scroll down here, can we start to see the problem with this picture here? Do you need me to blow it up just a little bit, maybe? I shall. Hang on. What the heck happened there? So if we can't blow that one up. Hang on. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So as you can see, there appears to be a face in the window. Now, to give you a bit of background on this one here, it says that we're now all in the time of year, and this is like 6 months old, folks, where people's experience with the supernatural are taking center stage. So I would imagine it was probably around Halloween time, maybe. And a post on the subreddit Are Ghosts, and we'll open that up to take a little look in a minute, is gaining a lot of traction, apparently featuring some spectral photography. And as with any such image shared online, debate over its authenticity is what it actually shows is raging. So in the photo, a translucent face can be seen in the window of a ruin in Douglas Park, a public area near the seaside town of Largs on the west coast of Scotland, and 30 miles west of Glasgow's largest city. So while the face isn't crystal clarity, it's certainly distinct enough that it can't be mistaken for anything else, which ironically is one of the reasons that some commenters doubt its legitimacy, as though ghost visages should only be considered plausible if difficult to make out. So the most obvious possibility is that the face is merely a reflection in the window, except the structure has no glass there for anything to be seen in. It also can't simply be another person standing there, as the back wall of the ruin can be glimpsed through the head, and there's nothing on the old stone that could result in pareidolia. There you go. So it says the building itself is an old shelter found in a small garden themed around Tam O'Shanter, one of the best known works of Scots poet Robert Burns, with the area featuring recreations of a ruined church where the eponymous drunken farmer accidentally witnessed a black Sabbath, and the bridge over which he escaped pursuit, as witches can't cross running water. So there's that one there. Now, it looks as if there's more, but it just goes to something blank, unfortunately. But let's say I have a see. Let's see what people are saying. I'll try and get it back up. Where is it? There we go. Make it bigger for y'all. God, I sound American. What's that all about? There we go. We've also got a story about somebody who was once Australian sounding, but now they've got a new accent altogether. I've got that pulled up for today as well. It's highly bizarre. But again, I can tell you that would be quite easy to do on Photoshop, but that doesn't mean it's faked. Have we got to the point now where, because of our technology, we're always going to be highly skeptical when it comes to these types of images, and we might, I don't know, I provide you decide, but we might end up missing some actual, real, awesome ghost type pictures because we've all just become far too skeptical. And I'm talking about myself here too. The first thing I try and do is like try and work out how you could do it, whether it's real. I mean, the facial features there are amazingly clear, right? Like, okay, I'll need to find it on here now. If I come down, come across. Ooh, you ready? The ghostly face is about to appear. I mean, or is it pareidolia? Could it just be pareidolia? Not sure. Not sure. But if we head on over now, we're going to check out the r/ghosts. Let's see what people are saying. Interesting that nobody believes this is real because of its clarity, as if real ghosts are only blurred or pixelated. People can be so closed-minded, and you know what? It doesn't matter what others think, as long as it's a moment in your life that you found to be something special because you were chosen to see him for a reason, bud. Enjoy. I'm jealous. I quite like that. And I think I second that there. You know, if you are somebody that goes to take one of these photographs and you decide to put it online, and you know yourself when you took that photograph, there was no shenanigans. You know, most people in the world don't know how to use Photoshop. So, like that one user had commented there, it's still a very special moment, something very, very weird for the people who were there or the person who was there that took it. And I like to lean to the side of people are being genuine, but at the same time, I don't keep my head open to the point or my mind open to the point where my brain falls out. That's a big danger when you're doing this kind of thing. So if we come back over here, let's see. Oh, ghosts in the paranormal. Let's see then. This security footage from a hospital my cousin works at. This is one of the highest floors, and there's no balcony outside the window. Okay then, so let's have a look at this. Let's see what happens here, shall we? It's playing. It's hard to even know what we're looking at there. There's no sound on the clip. I don't think, no. Are we going to see anything? Did anyone see that? I have no idea what we're even meant to be seeing there. Okay.
Watching TV, and then turned around and went, "What is that in the window?" There's a fucking handprint on our window, and we have both put our hands on it. It is on the outside, and it does not fit any of our hands. Mine is way too little, and Ben's is like way too big. So why is there a handprint in the rain on the outside of our...
Whoa, the ghostly handprint. Okay, what else we got down here? Okay, these are really, really bad. So I'm going to go to the next one I'd pulled up today. And we're going to Ireland. We're going to Ireland. And it says, fans of the paranormal left spooked by a ghostly figure snapped at an ancient church on Loch Corrib. Now, the reason that's actually highlighted there was because yesterday on the show, when we were doing the Tribe of Dan with Jimmy Jean, I discovered that I really don't know how to pronounce a lot of these Irish places. So today I had a little look, and this here is not to be mistaken with Loch in Scotland, and it's pronounced Loch or Loch in Loch Corrib. So you're all desperately waiting to see what this picture is. I must admit, folks, this one, I don't know. And pareidolia could definitely creep in here. But if I take this picture and then we take a look at it like this. Well, before we get there, it says fans of the paranormal have been left spooked, they say, by a ghostly figure captured on camera at an ancient church. A team from Paranormal Supernatural Investigations Ireland, that's a mouthful, PSII probably is what they go by, took a boat to Inchagol Island. See, here we go again, right? And it's Loch Corrib last Thursday and stayed overnight. Early the next morning, the Galway-based ghost hunters captured a startling image in an archway. Co-founder Richard Morrison told the Irish Mirror, "We find this picture quite interesting, as most of our followers on Facebook are saying they can see a person with a beard and a hooded cloak." Right, okay, let's see then, folks. Let's see. What do you people see when you look at that? Right, I'm gonna leave it. No, Queen Anne, I didn't see anything either. I didn't see anything. Why is the danger light flashing? Because it's part of the set. Don't worry about it, Bet. Don't worry about it. It's all good. There's always danger when KBS is around. I'm a bit of a dangerous guy. I'm the most safe YouTuber you've got. I've like become so algorithm friendly, it's scary. So no, it's like a danger. Something could happen. Anything could happen. That's your warning when you're on here. So what do you see, folks? What do you see? I honestly, it's there you go. There's closer. You know what? I actually see an eye here and an eye here and a big nose there. Looks like some kind of animal. That's why I'm here. Yeah, Bet, you have been another welcome addition to the KBS family. And if people are wondering, why is Bet's name and Rose's name in green? And that's because they're members of the channel here, folks. They have taken it upon themselves to support the channel even further, and they've joined. And that means they get the Sunday live streams, and you can do that too. But you don't have to. I'm here most days, every week. Don't worry about it. You get lots of me without having to pay one brass bean. All good in the hood. But that's there for people who do want to take that extra leap of faith and support yours truly. And I thank you all for that. A hooded figure, says the hidden underbelly. That's what they describe it as. Yep. I can kind of see a man, says Queen. Let's see. What are other people saying here? It's a ma'am. Oh, I've got that somewhere. Where is my soundboard gone? You see, will I try it?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Hey, yes, because I've been playing about the soundboard. There's a whole heap of like, you see, some of them are actually inappropriate clips. I took a bit of a chance there, let me tell you. All right, that could have been anything. Trust me, it could have been Mary You remember that one, right? Mary loves the. Yep. One of 100 monkeys can't see it. That's okay. That's why we crowdsource the woo. Yep. There's a long ear and a cigarette hanging out of its mouth. Now I see, right? I'm taking it. You're thinking that there. That could be the cigarette. That if I zoom in again, this bit here is that what you're thinking, Faith? Yeah. It looks more like the Reaper. Now, head and underbelly. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. When I first seen it, I thought Wraith, Reaper, something pretty sinister. Yep. Looks like a garbage bag. Also, could could be. Who knows? Could be something. It looks like it's halfway up the wall. It's hard to tell as well because it looks like there might even be a dark shadow in here, as if there's some kind of entrance. It's hard to tell, right? See, when I zoom it in like that, because of the pareidolia, I'm seeing an eye here, a nose there, and now I'm seeing a cigarette hanging out of a big dog's mouth. That can never be very good, right? Never be very good. Polly remembers that clip. Mary loves you know it. You know it. Probably one of the funniest ghost hunting clips that there's ever been. Ever. It is a cool picture, I'll give you that. I agree with you there. Hidden underbelly. Now, that's not the only ones we've got. No, because we don't roll like that on here. We've got 10 creepy photos of ghosts that will make you question everything. Well, we should be questioning everything anyway. But we start off with this one here. It's a very sinister looking hooded type figure with what looks like some kind of scream mask on. Yeah. So it says, and goes on to say here, spooky apparitions, spectral children, wraith-like women in white have long been the subjects of traditional ghost lore told around the fire. But we all know those are just fables, right? They say the truth is stranger than fiction, and I've actually been included in is that what it's called? It's just called Stranger Than Fiction, Bill's book, where I've got a couple of chapters in there. I can't remember the first one. The first book was CERN. I wrote about CERN for my chapter, and then the chapter I done for the most recent one was mainly about my visit to Boleskine House. And Travis is wanting to actually kind of get into that on one of the upcoming Warrior modes. He thinks we should be actually getting into a bit more of that because he's not really heard the full story of my visit to Boleskine. So it says the truth is stranger than fiction, and yes, it is indeed, because fiction, you kind of have to stay within certain kind of parameters, but the truth can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. It doesn't have to adhere to any boundaries. And these 10 creepy photos will have you second guessing whether they're real or not. Check them out. So we'll blow it up a little bit. Try. There we go. So Sybil Corbett's 1891 photograph. Here we go. Here of the Combermere Abbey Library in Cheshire, England, seems to depict a ghost of the late Lord Combermere sitting in his chair. Now, that's pretty impressive. And if that was taken back in 1891, a classic, an absolute classic. Unless John Teeter went back there with a working laptop and one of the latest editions of Photoshop, I think this one here is quite compelling, only because of the way photography was at the time. Very hard, I would imagine, to get something to act like that. In my opinion, and I'm no photographer, but that's pretty compelling. Next, it says that an amateur photographer, Corbett, allegedly set up her camera and took this hour-long exposure while the funeral of her brother-in-law, Lord Combermere, was taking place 4 miles from the home. Interestingly, the apparition appears to be sitting in the deceased Lord's chair and is suggested to be the Lord himself. So this is one of these where you open up the aperture of the camera and you just leave it running. That's how you get all of these really cool photographs of like cars with streaking lights and all that kind of jazz. But back in 1891, was it the Lord himself? And folks, I'm not here to argue with anyone. Whatever your opinion on a photo is, it's your opinion. That's why I like getting into the woo. It should be one of the most least divisive kind of topics that there is, because we don't want to be divided. We want to just sit and chill. And here we go. Next one. So we've got this group portrait taken in 1912 is of Sir Victor Goddard's Royal Air Force Squadron and seems to feature the face of a mechanic who died 2 days earlier. Wow. So can we find him in the photo? Let's have a look. Got him there. The hat's looking the same way. Now we've only obviously got the word of the people that are putting this out to go by. I don't know if this guy passed 2 days before the photograph was taken, but it says this group portrait of Goddard's squadron, which had served in World War One at the HMS Daedalus training facility, is said to feature the ghostly face of Freddie Jackson, a mechanic who had been who accidentally passed after an airplane propeller hit him 2 days earlier. His face is said to be visible behind the airman in the top row, fourth from the left. So yeah, we got him right. It is that one there. Pretty weird, right? But then you have to ask yourself, right? I'm not buying this one. I'll tell you why I'm not buying this one. If that guy wasn't there, right? If he was dead, then why would they have left such a big gap between the third from the left and this guy here? It wouldn't look anything like the rest of the photographs, right? But again, that's just my initial opinion. It's just what I think. What do you think? Because that's what's important here. It's about you. Like that comment on Reddit. It's about you. If you find something cool about it, that's good. So we scroll down, another one. The photo on the right was said to show the spirit of a deceased terrier reuniting with his canine best friend. So the photo on the right. So is this this what it's kind of talking about here? Has that just appeared? It's a bit weird, right? The Adalus. There you go. There you go. ZX, you'll keep me right. It's like I was telling you today, ZX. You are one brainy. Yes, indeed. And am I glad I've got that censor button? I'm telling you. And I called you exactly what I called you today on Discord, ZX. So you know what word I just used there. So according to a 1939 print in Life magazine, the terrier in the left photo, that one there, was the beloved playmate of a big dog pictured right. Now, after the terrier died, the dog on the right was heartbroken, and the above right photo was snapped by a psychic photographer of the big dog with its owner, and allegedly shows the spirit of the small terrier hovering directly over the big dog's backside. Well, you often find that dogs have a tendency to sniff each other's. So it doesn't surprise me, perhaps, that maybe the wee terrier was kind of hanging about that area. I'm just saying, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. It almost looks like it's trying to grow out the back of the bigger dog. There's a whole lot wrong with that picture without even getting into ghosts. So this one is supposed, the picture. This picture of the supposed ghost of Abraham Lincoln with his widow, Mary Lincoln, was taken circa 1870. It is considered one of the first examples of spirit photography. Holy shamoly. Come on, man. I have that one. I think I have it somewhere. I need to get my soundboard up. Because it could go horribly wrong here, and I don't want that to happen. My soundboard is gone. I'm missing. Can you believe it? That's okay. I'm sure we'll... Aye, there it is. Right, where are we? Where are we? There we go.
Come on, man.
Okay, see, we got it. We got it. Are we buying this one, folks? Frankie Boyle would be proud. Did you enjoy that last night? You see, maybe what people don't understand is that we get the pre-show stream, which I try to do every day before the show, being a pre-show stream, right? Then we do 2 hours on the show. But on occasion, there's like an after show. Did you not know? Ah, you see, you need to come over to Discord, and it's all HD. We've got video, we've got audio, and last night we went down the rabbit hole of Frankie Boyle, probably the most algorithm unfriendly character I can think of. Not for the faint-hearted. In fact, I probably offended a few people in Discord playing that, but it's comedy. It's comedy. Cinemonk, you're never late. You're never late. You arrived just exactly when you needed to. And Faith says you're such a kick to watch and listen to, Kev. If only my own family felt that way, it'd be half the battle. It really will. There you go. It's interesting, right? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What do we think on this one, folks? What do you think about this? What's happening, son? Uh-oh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Wookiee is going to be unhappy. Kevin is unhappy. Manchester United are getting beaten. I know, I'm a sport guy. What can I say? Not buying it, Jocelyn says. You know what, Jocelyn? I'm with you on this one. Maybe you're early. Exactly, Cinemonk. You are just where you need to be. The Matrix is great that way. All right? Great that way. Better late than never is what I say. Nah, not buying it, says the hidden underbelly. No. No. I don't know, there just feels like there's something weird about this one. It just feels that way. I don't know though. It's off in my opinion. Yeah. But then how do you do that? Like, is there a way? Would there be a way of... I'm trying to think of the actual right word here. Is it transposing our photograph on top of that? Like back in the day? Could you merge two photographs back in... When did it say it was? 1870? Some of these old photographs took a long time to create. Maybe it's somebody come in, pose, then leave. ZX, you clever. You see, you really, you highlight just how silly I am at times because of your very logical mind, sir. And that's a compliment, by the way. So it says William Mumler. Wow, the Mumbler. They call him the Mumbler. I don't know why I sang that. That just didn't even make sense. Was originally an engraver in Boston. Well, why? Look, if you're an engraver, stick to engraving. That's your trade, right? Obviously, you take really bogus pictures. Get back to engraving. Who treated photography as a side hobby. Now, after developing a self-portrait and discovering a surprise girl made of light in the final print, he became one of the first spirit photographers. Someone whose principal goal is to capture ghosts and spirits in photographs. And I've got a real problem with this, folks. I've got a real problem with this. When you announce yourself to be a spirit photographer, there's a bit of an onus on you to produce said spirit-filled photographs, right? Be it 2021 or 1890 or whenever it is. So does this mean he discovered a technique to make it look like there was a ghost and then he went on to make a barrel load of money with his fakery? I don't know. But there is a cup of coffee arriving. And I'm sure on YouTube that might have looked like an ethereal hand just appearing out of nowhere. It's coming out of Annie. I've got two now. That one's cold. You made me one. You didn't ask. I'll drink the cold one first. It's okay. Just as long as... Uh-oh. This is where it all went wrong the other night when there was 2 cups of coffee in play. Yeah. For anyone who wasn't there, we had about 10 minutes to go on the Kev Baker show the other night. And I was just about to launch into the quintessential, absolute worry. The best of like shenanigans that my brain could come up with. I was laying out this fictional kind of storyline. It would have been something that J.J. Abrams could have turned into a movie. And then all of a sudden, because as you can see, I talk a lot with my hands, I hadn't realised I'd put my cup of coffee right in front of me and I went, and the coffee went everywhere. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't fun, and everyone got to witness it on camera over on Discord, and I would imagine there was a lot of titillation and laughing going on. Hey, folks, it's okay to laugh at me. When you put yourself out here like I do, you expect some level of ridicule, and sometimes I deserve it. So it says the title earned him both acclaim and scorn from the spiritualist community. And back then, that's when the whole spiritualist type movement was getting going. You had like people with their houses set up, they had like bits of string tied to their toe, and there'd be people hiding in floorboards and ooh, shaking sheets and all that kind of crazy stuff going on. It says the above photo purportedly depicts a shadowy late Abraham Lincoln hovering behind his mourning wife, Mary Lincoln. I listen. If you're in a marital relationship or you're living with your partner, can we agree that it's not okay to come back and hang about and be a ghost like that? Anne would kick my ethereal. She would. So can we just like get that sorted right off the bat? None of this type of creepiness when when you pass over to the other side. So next up, we've got William Hope, a premier pioneer of spirit photography again. Took this photo of a couple and an alleged female spirit around 1920. Holy shimoly, that looks like the Rake or the Slender Man or something. That's bloody terrifying. Do you know what that looks like? That's the mother of Momo. Remember Momo? Remember that horrendous looking thing? Whoa. Now look. That's pretty weird. That's pretty wacky. Give me a couple of secs, folks. I'm getting a little drink of coffee and then we'll come back. We'll do more of these. We've still got more. And then, of course, we've got that little thing of like episode 1500 today. You know, just 1500th episode. I hope you can all join me for that one over on TFR Live or over on the Disco, whichever takes your fancy. But I'll be back in just a moment, folks. Don't go anywhere. There we go. I'm back. And that is one terrifying photograph. It truly is a terrifying photograph. It reminds me very much of this thing. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Just a little bit. Like a little bit. A little bit. I see the Momo in that one. So it says here, Hope was a hugely in demand as a medium. No bloody wonder if he was summoning up things like this. You know what I'm saying? Families wanting to get in touch with their deceased loved ones sat for his photographs. So that's all they're telling us about that one. That's a pretty good one though, right? Look, even if it's faked up, that is absolutely disturbing. It's disturbia, as Rihanna would say. That was a good song, that. Not going to try and sing it, folks. Don't panic. Don't panic. So, as a member of the Crew Circle, a group of spiritualists from, funnily enough, Crewe in England, Hope claimed to be able to photograph spirits. Holy shamoly, that looks like Kenny Rogers. That's not a spirit, it's a time traveller. Probably doesn't look anything like Kenny Rogers, but to my eye, it looked like Kenny Rogers. Or is this the ghost? Which one's the ghost, ladies and gentlemen? Is it this bear-like looking entity up here? Probably. So taken in 1931 by Hope, this picture purportedly depicts the spirit. Oh, hang on. Right, the spirit of Mrs. Horston Leverson's deceased husband hovering behind her head. Whoa. That's pretty dang. Been better if it had been Dolly Parton at the front, but if Dolly Parton had been around in 1931, in fact, probably Dolly Parton was around in 1931. Hey, Dolly. Is Dolly still with us? Damn, am I having like a Dolly effect? Dolly Mandela. Is she alive? Tell me, folks. I don't want to Google it. Dolly still with us? Bring on a bit of Dolly and Kenny Rogers. Can't he beat it? Paranormal investigators sought to expose Hope as a fraud in 1922, but his believers never doubted him. And that's it, folks. You know, if you are a believer, there are some things you just will never, ever want to accept, like maybe the possibility that there's shenanigans going on. Now, this here, whoa, hang on. Like, are we getting like some kind of, is that almost like two faces coming through and then almost a third one here? Look at people back in the day as well. Like, this whole look back in the day, the whole kind of white hair and the big whitey beards, and there's a look. People were different back then, right? I'm not saying they were a different. Who knows what I'm trying to say? Stuff looked different. That's it, right? That's all I'm going to say. So it says Hope was later exposed as a fraud in February 1922. I told you. Paranormal investigator Harry Price went so far as to write a report that says William Hope has been found guilty. It makes it sound like he's been sentenced for it. He's been found guilty of deliberately substituting his own photographic plates for those of a sitter. It implies that the medium brings to the sitting a duplicate slide and faked plates for fraudulent purposes. In other words, Hope used multiple exposure techniques to add ghostly spirits to photos. And you see, this just proves it, doesn't it? There is nothing new under the sun. I mean, we're talking about basically, I was talking about layers before on Photoshop, and see, they could do that kind of thing back in the day. Who knew? So this next one, originally taken in 1936 by Captain Hubert C. Provand. This photo allegedly shows a ghost that haunts Rainham Hill in Norfolk, England. Oh, there's your very, 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 very stereotypical the white lady on the stairs type apparition. Now, I know I shouldn't go assigning any type of gender to this ghost because I can't speak to them to see what they identify as. But through my eye, through my third psychic eye, I'm feeling it's a chick. Feeling it's a chick here. So it says, according to the legend, the identity of the ghost in the photograph, the brown lady of Rainham Hall. Okay, I said it was a white lady, it's a brown lady. What can I say? Pardon me for my racism. None other than the Dorothy Walpole, or is none other than Lady Dorothy Walpole, the sister of the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, Robert Walpole. Now, according to the lore, Walpole, the second wife of Charles Townshend, had an affair with Lord Wharton. Hey, 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 hey. Telling you, there were goers back then. When Townsend found out, he locked her up in Rainham Hall, where she stayed until her passing in 1726. London-based photographer Captain Hubert C. Provind, great name, snapped the photograph in 36, where it ran in Country Life magazine later that year. Again, we could be dealing with one of these double exposure things. Now, Sam says he remembers us. Sam, you remember this. Were you around in 1936, dude? I'm not being cheeky. That's pretty cool. This photo taken, the next one, this photo taken in 1963 is of a supposed ghost named the Spectre. Ready?
The Spectre of Newby Church.
There we go.
I bet you it sounded like this as well. Oh.
There you go. There's my ghostly voice. That's as good as you're getting here, folks. Hey, listen, I never said I was the best YouTuber, and just because I've done 1,500 episodes doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. Hey, come on, man. Keep your mind open. Wrong one. Keep looking.
Come on, man.
See, I got him. So when Reverend K.F. Lord, the picture says Sam, good man. We like to have a laugh around here, right? When Reverend K.F. Lord took this photo in 1963 inside Newby Church in North Yorkshire. Hey, big shout out to all the Yorkshire people out there. England. Got 49 people in the chat. You'd think I was talking to an audience of like 490,000, all you Yorkshire people. In a world of 7.5 billion, there's probably next to no chance there's anyone from Yorkshire listening, right? But I'm inclusive. Keep my mind, you know, you're all included here. The apparition was merely the result of a well-done... See, there was like lots of shenanigans back then. Before there was even clickbait. Imagine it. People like, no clickbait value. Dang, dude. So, Lord maintained that the ghost in the photo wasn't doctored. It's an absolutely fantastic picture. And it begs the question, holy shimoly, stop the bus, folks. Stop the bus. I think we've got a new member coming in. I think we might have a new member coming in. If we do, we're about to see something spectacular on the screen, maybe. But Chris, thank you, brother. I'm not sure if you're a new member or you're a renewing member or you've upgraded, but thank you very, very much, brother. I think we're getting close to making a new emoji. Hey! There you go, see? You see, you got the very hypnotic Schrodinger's cat with groovy glasses on. You like that? You like that? That was just for you, Chris. Just for you. Thank you, man. All joking aside, thank you. Richard Barnes Boorsnell, the next picture. A spirit medium and photographer. See, when you've got them being like mediums and photographers, we've got to be really, 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 really skeptical. We just have to, because we've now learnt about this whole double exposure technique. I'm just saying. Probably a good bit of shilling to be made back in the day. A little bit of shekel to be made if you could provide photographic evidence of long-lost loved ones. It might be one of the earliest ghost grifts. It's an early grifter of the ghosting variety, or a ghosty of the grifting variety. You see, there's grifting happens everywhere. Everywhere. So Richard Borsnell, a spirit medium and photographer, captured this photo of spiritualist William Thomas Steed and a purported phantom who's identified as Piet Botha, a Boer commandant, killed in the South African War. For anyone who hasn't looked into the Boer War, that's an interesting, if you're into history, that is very interesting. That's pretty weird. It looks like he's got his... Oh, dear. Hang on a minute. What's he... I'm seeing a person here. I don't like what this guy's hand is. This ghost is... Is this ghost trying to... Is he? Is he? Naughty, naughty. A man named F.C. Barnes visited Borsnell in 1908. Oh, many moons ago, eh? The world's a simpler place then, but now we're finding it wasn't. There was grifters about back then, and we didn't have the joys of the internet to tell people, oh, that psychic photographer dude, he's a grifter. But what? Yeah, better late than never. We'll name and shame them now, I'm telling you. Attempted to expose the photograph as a fraud, claiming that he recognised the phantom in the photo as an image Borsnell had taken from a book of the late Empress Elizabeth of Austria. Well, I don't know about you people out there, but I found that pretty dang interesting, all these ghosty pictures. Admittedly, maybe not even one of them. Maybe not even one of the things we looked at could be actually described as ghostly. Maybe they're all made up. I tell you that, we'll need to search it. Now that looks just like an exposure, right? That's been left, that one. What are we meant to be looking at there? Okay. Okay. You see, we're going to move on now, though. We're going to move on because I'm running out of time here and I need to go and get Scotty Lopez real soon. And there's going to be a surprise on the 1500th episode today. I'll tell you that right now. There's going to be a big surprise. Big surprise. You want to be there for this one. That's all I'm going to say. Even Anne's saying, oh, you do. But now we're going to talk about aliens. And this young lady here, if aliens look like that, again, I will take one for Team Humanity. Whether it's the tip, whether there's lube or not, I will get probed. That's what I would do for you. But it turns out she isn't actually the alien in question. But an alien believer, Demi Lovato, becomes a UFO investigator. Now, why did I bring this story up when I don't even know who Demi Lovato is? Because it's just another chapter in... You like it when it is? Oh, hang on.
Dare we call it disclosure?
Yes, dare we call it disclosure. We're now getting like actresses and people now going mainstream with UFO investigations and things. Okay, albeit she got her fame from Barney. Hey, it's Barney. You see, I was too busy laughing at Barney to notice anyone in the program. So, and my boy loved Barney. Let me just, didn't he, Ann? Did Kevin love Barney? Oh, Barney was the dude. Hey, it's Barney. So you may know Demi Lovato as the child actress on Barney and Friends. Never heard of her. But she'd probably prefer that you forgot. Now, you may know her from many other television appearances or from her successful recording career. Successful recording career? I don't know her. I've never heard of her. But I'm sure it was really successful. And what Demi would like to be remembered for now is as a UFO investigator. Wait, what? In Unidentified with Demi Lovato, the music superstar and actress, her skeptical best friend Matthew and her sister Dallas attempt to uncover the truth about the UFO phenomena while consulting with leading experts. The trio will investigate recent eyewitness encounters and uncover secret government reports and conduct tests at known UFO hotspots. Variety reveals that the Peacock Network will broadcast an unscripted series about UFOs with Lovato as the main investigator, and the tentative title is Unidentified with Demi Lovato. They must have taken months to come up with that, right? Like, wow. They probably paid a PR firm thousands to come up with that, you know? Dead original. You may not think of her as a George Knapp or a Linda Moulton Howe or even a Tom DeLonge kind of ufologist, but Lovato actually believes extraterrestrials are real and has personal encounters with them and UFOs. So she may be a more serious investigator than one would expect. The reason I bring this up, folks, is because it's a continuation of, and listen, I wouldn't care if this lady was looking for UFOs or spiders or just about anything. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm a toxic man. What can I say? And I don't even have it on the screen here anymore. There you are. There you are. There's Demi Lovato there. Yeah. So Demi Lovato to host an unscripted UFO investigation series at Peacock. So yes, I would very much be watching this. I'll take one for the team. I'll watch it. But it goes on as unidentified as the latest television project that Lovato has set up at NBC Universal. And it was announced in April that NBC had given out a pilot order to the comedy Hungry, in which Lovato will star and executive produce. So again, she's a gold and platinum singles to her name, including the title track of her hit album, Tell Me You Love Me. She can tell me she loves me anytime, but I've never heard the song. Maybe I have heard it. Have you ever heard of her, Ryan? No, never heard of her. Demi Lovato. So listen, folks, I'm running out of time here. And it's, well, I think episode 1500 today. And there's going to be little surprises along the way. So you want to be there for that. Well, maybe you don't want to be there for that, but I would like for you to be there for that. And I better shift my tuchus because I've only got 13 minutes till we go live. I still got to find something to talk about. I think today will be a very nostalgic show. There'll be a lot of looking backwards at the 1500 that's just been. There'll also be looking forward to the next 1500 that are coming. Yeah, I'm going to keep going for another 1500 or until they wheel me out of here. That's the only way you're going to get me away, folks. They'll have to wheel me away from the PC. Yes, indeed. So you're stuck with me. Well, for as long as you want, because you don't have to watch, obviously. No, I hope nobody forces you to watch the Kev Baker show. That would be absolutely torturous if it's something you're not into. But listen, I want to thank all of you again before I take my leave today. Get a drink of coffee and go and get Scotty Lopez and get ready for, dare I say it, I can't believe it, episode 1500. Now, if anyone out there has been with me for the full 1500, if I had a medal to give you, I would, okay? But I don't. All I can say is thank you. Whether you've been tuned in for 1500 or 1.5 episodes, it's all the same to me, because it tells me that you're on the right track. Not because you're listening to me, but because you obviously have questions and you're looking for answers. And I don't have the answers for you. I can never claim that. But what I can try and do is give you information that's at least going to be thought-provoking. We'll get a good laugh along the way. And in the end of the day, it's all on you. Because I provide and you decide. So I'll be back real soon, folks. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. And I will be back on TFR in 11 minutes' time. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Big shout out to our newest member, who is, of course, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. Much appreciated. Check the community post if you're a member. We do a stream every Sunday. So thank you for that. If anyone wants to support the show further, but you don't have to, PayPal's in the description. Big shout out to Bruce as well. And big shout out to all of you. I'm out of here.